So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, for the sake of completing your knowledge about Minerva, it's also fair to say that the goddess Minerva was not only the goddess of wisdom and science, but also of strategic warfare. First preliminary remark. Second preliminary remark, when I heard Mr. Fischer this morning apply a disclaimer of I'm not providing the money by myself, I thought maybe I should do the same, but then I thought it's useless, because each time Mr. Bersupan approached me and said, I need no money, I told him this, nothing. However, he always found a hidden budget to divert, so it's useless. And now the two preliminary remarks are converging. Why? Because our directors are strategic warfare educated at the best. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the Max Planck Society, the most important reference area in the international framework is, of course, Europe, which we regard as a domestic mark, however, on a global scale. Therefore, Max Planck Society is committed in continuously contribute to shaping the European research and innovation area. Please allow me to present at first the Max Planck Society's actions and activities in this context. As a guarantor for cutting-edge research, thank you for introducing that already, Mr. Nelly. Max Planck Society today is for sure an integral part of the European research and innovation area. This is evidenced only by the number of the exchanges of scientists and on the international cooperation arrangements of the Max Planck Institutes. Of the more than 7,000 international visiting and junior scientists, around 2,400 originate from countries in the European Union, accounting for 1/3 of all foreign visiting scientists at Max Planck Institutes. 2/3 of our institute's international cooperation partners are based in Europe. Our activities in Europe are primarily driven bottom-up by scientific interests at Max Planck Institutes. However, based on its internationalization strategy, the Max Planck Society has a variety of tools at its disposal to strengthen its international orientation within ERA. All of our strategic tools for international cooperation serving to back up the scientific presence of Max Planck Society and its international institutes are realized in Europe. For example, international Max Planck institutes in Nijmegen, Netherlands, Rome and Florence, Italy, and since recently in Luxembourg, or research infrastructure of Max Planck Society, such as in the area of astronomy, or international Max Planck centers, for instance, the recently founded Max Planck Odense Center on the biodemography of aging in collaboration with the University of Southern Denmark, or structured collaborative projects with European research organizations like CNRS, or finally, Max Planck research partner groups in Central and Eastern Europe. In addition to its scientific-driven activities, the Max Planck Society is successfully involved and actively participating in European research and innovation programs. These programs, initiated by the European Commission, completed our activities in a perfect way. Today, the Max Planck Institutes take a successful position in the 7th framework program. Approximately 20% of all our third-party funds, amounting to a total of more than 300 million, are provided by the European Union. I could indeed tell a lot more of real European success stories of EU-funded research projects and programs under participation or leadership of Max Planck Institutes. Today I'm happy to state a major success story is without doubt the project SHARE. SHARE sustainably contributes to European and national policies to improve quality of life for elder people and their families and to reinforce our economies to cope with demographic change. The analysis of shared data will help European countries to more effectively prepare for facing the challenges to their welfare systems and their economies in an aging society. SHARE is expected to become an important asset to other initiatives on population aging, such as the pilot European Innovation Partnership on Active and Healthy Aging, currently being launched. Ms. Gomez, I understand, will introduce this topic later this afternoon. From a general point of view, I regard SHARE also a perfect example of the translation of cutting-edge basic research into application. Max Planck stands for basic research, also in social sciences. SHARE demonstrates as how basic research forms the indispensable basis of practical knowledge, to use other words, of innovation. Therefore, supporting basic research will remain a task to which particular attention should continually be paid at the European level. I am confident that this commitment will be continued, if not strengthened. I was delighted to hear from Anne Glover, the science advisor for the President of the EU Commission, a clear statement underpinning the significant role of basic science for the benefit of society when she gave a speech to the audience of the Max Planck Society's annual annual assembly at the beginning of this month in Potsdam. And furthermore, I am glad to learn that funding excellent basic research forms an essential pillar of EU funding of research under Horizon 2020. Now, Germany as well, other SHARE member states have contributed jointly and significantly to the project costs until today. And I would like to take the opportunity to thank you, Mr. Lelle, in particular, because without your personal commitment on behalf of the German Federal Ministry, SHARE would have been even more difficult in the recent years. Now, since 2004, the European Commission has contributed around 30 million, roughly, to SHARE. But one truth remains. SHARE needs continued to tell the truth, more support to continue and finalize the studies. So I wish to thank also now today you, Ms. Arana, representing Mr. Robert Jan Smits, for your tremendous support to this day and to this project, to this survey. And so your presence tells me that the rumors seem to be true, that SHARE is at the heart of the Commission. Now, Mr. Berg-Suppan, since many years you have been centrally coordinating SHARE. Its scientific power is based on its panel design that grasps the dynamic character of the aging process. This is very important work you are conducting here. SHARE is moreover harmonized, as we learned already, with the corresponding US and also UK studies, and has become kind of a role model for several aging surveys worldwide. SHARE's multidisciplinary approach delivers the full picture of the aging process. Rigorous procedural guidelines and programs ensure an ex-ante harmonized cross-national design. SHARE is an outstanding example for European cutting-edge research in the social sciences and humanities. And as a matter of fact, SHARE has already become a major pillar of the European research area. In addition, I'm personally convinced that SHARE is helping to establish Europe as a world leader in aging science. Ladies and gentlemen, the Max Planck Society intends to continue its commitment and will also be engaged in the further development for the promotion of SHARE as a national, European and globally oriented European research infrastructure. Max Planck Society therefore welcomes the ongoing support by the European Commission from various sources. Despite the economic crisis, the financial and moral commitment of the EU member states is needed for sustained work on SHARE's targets. And honestly, share, as we all know and we learn today again, share provides to political decision makers such indispensable data of such fundamental basic importance that I find it, to say at least, surprising that share always needed and needs to struggle for sufficient funding. And despite all efforts, there is again currently a financial gap until the end of 2014. Recently, for this, the lack of a final agreement of European institutions towards the budgets for Horizon 2020, but I'm glad to hear that obviously it's moving into the proper direction. So, Mr. Bösch-Supan has not disappeared. He is. I wish you good luck for the future of share and a promising start of Horizon 2020 to the European Commission, hopefully with a suitable research infrastructure tailor-made for share in the near future. And I would like to submit in my conclusion a specific suggestion for at least pathing a way forward for the funding issues. I would propose a conference organized by the European Commission with all relevant stakeholders on how the necessary project fundings for Wave 6 and 7 could be mobilized and provided on time. A consultation on the different funding instruments and associated opportunities might be desirable for share members who are affected by the economic crisis, and the following instruments might be of interest in such a conference. So first of all, the European Innovation Partnership on Active and Healthy Aging. We will hear more about this later in the afternoon. The infrastructure projects under Horizon 2020. Maybe you will tell a bit about that. The international cooperation projects under Horizon 2020, and maybe even also the use of structural funds for Spain, Greece and other countries that are eligible to apply. National and regional funds to single institutions is clear anyway, and also teaming excellence or wide-in participation respectively under Horizon 2020. This concept has to be managed via a competitive call for proposals in Horizon 2020, complementary to the use of structural funds. So I hope that this specific suggestion may be of interest for your further considerations and your endeavor, and I thank you very much for your attention.